Watchmaking can be an expensive hobby. There's some great options for lower cost entry-level tools and supplies that I've featured on the channel. But as frugal as I try to be, there are some items that I've learned are worth the extra money. For instance, tweezers. I've lost more parts using inexpensive tweezers because they require too much pressure or had uneven points. I've since purchased several pair of Dumont tweezers, and I am never going back. Screwdrivers. I still occasionally use my first inexpensive set of screwdrivers, and screwdriver technique is very important in doing it. If you blinked, you would have missed it. I launched the screw, bounced it off my finger cot, and landed perfectly back in the movement. But this Bergeon set is made of more durable metal and comes precision sharpened to give better engagement with screw heads. And today, I want to add another luxury purchase to that list: mainspring winders. After having only a modicum of success hand-winding mainsprings back into the barrel, I realized my need for a set of mainspring winders. I tried to do without and purchased a few movement-specific mainsprings for a couple of watches. When they arrived, they were wound too large to fit my barrel, and the well-known UK vendor I purchased them from told me I needed to rewind it myself to make it fit. Back to square one. But with prices reaching more than $2,000 US for a new full set of Swiss-made Bergeon mainspring winders, and used sets costing hundreds, I took my chances on a $60 set of Chinese-made winders. They were not usable for me.
Okay, so here's the 8200 winder. I think that's an Omega. The direction of the wind was opposite what I needed, so I had to use the winding handle from the 2836.
The movement-specific winders were a hodgepodge of barrel and arbor sizes and wind directions. The build quality and materials were also subpar, and I had a very hard time engaging the hook on the arbor in the hole of the spring. I've been doing watchmaking long enough now that I know it will remain a hobby for me well into the future. So, I bought this, which I consider to be an investment. It's a Bergeon 5-piece mainspring winder set with left-hand and right-hand arbors and handles. I paid US $650 for the set, but hopefully it contains the winders I need the most for the type of wristwatches that I like to service. And I can add additional size winders a la carte in the future if needed. I'm very excited. Let's open it up and give it a try.
All right. There we go. This one's trying to escape.
The set contains two handles, one for right and one for left-hand wound springs, 5 winding drums, and right-handed and left-handed winders for each drum. The drums are Bergeon's generic winder size numbers 4 through 8. Here's a chart that converts these sizes to the drum outer diameter in millimeters to fit within your spring barrel. These are really solid. What I have here is a new mainspring for a Longines watch that I'm working on. You want to find the winder that is the same diameter or just slightly smaller than the barrel that you need to insert into. So in this case, it is this one, and Bergeon has numbered this the number 6. We're going to grab the number 6 winder, and this is a right-handed mainspring. It winds right-handed. So here we go, number 6. Okay, so when you take a mainspring out of the barrel, it's important to note which direction the mainspring is wound into the barrel. So let's go ahead and get this wound.
Okay, we're going to place the winder, and by the way, let's just make sure that this fits in the barrel. And this one does. Perfect. So we know that this is going to get inserted from underneath. Okay, it feels like it's holding on. Let me put the arbor on the winder handle in here. Now let's see. If the hook is gripping, it's going to feed that mainspring into the barrel. And lo and behold, it seems to be doing it. Okay, now, oh, okay, so I just had my first failure. So in a nice controlled way, let me see if I can let this down. And what happened is I am making a mess. Okay. Let me see if I can let the spring go naturally here. Okay. So what happened there, okay, I'm glad we're learning together. What happened there was I relieved tension. You need to keep downward tension. And I didn't do that. And so it came out. Well, let's just go with it. Lesson learned. Let's see if we're still engaged. And we are. Oh boy, am I going to apply downward tension now. And so we just want to help this little tab in. There's these two little ears. Can we poke him in there? So it's kind of like a mixed bag here. I need to relieve tension just enough to get him in there. Come on. But I don't want to relieve tension so much that the spring flies out again. Let me get my brass tweezers here. So I feel like I need to wiggle the winder up just a little bit, like that. Get him in there. Get him in. Oh, okay, it's in. Okay, so now I'm going to relieve tension because we want to get the handle to release. Okay, I can see that the hook is disengaged and there we go. Okay, so the winder is out. There's the spring. And here we go. Here's the moment of truth. You place the winder into the barrel, and with a little push, it dislodges the wound spring into the barrel. Beautiful. Okay. Thank you, new spring winder. There is our arbor. And we want to lock the arbor into the center of the spring. And there's a hook on the arbor. And let's see if we can engage. Let's see if we can engage this arbor without sending it flying. Okay, I was finally able to get a grip on the arbor with a pin vise, and it looks like we have engagement. Yes. So now we're going to use this little tool. I'll line the lid. Remember that little T-tab on the back of the spring? Well, I believe it has to engage right there with that hole. There we go. That made the sound I wanted to hear. We have a barrel. A barrel complete, if you will. And let's just pause for a minute to appreciate that beautiful snailing engraved into the bottom of the barrel. Well, there you have it. Overall, I'm fantastically pleased with this purchase of the Bergeon 5-piece mainspring winder set, and the quality difference between this and the previous set that I purchased is just night and day. So with that, I can now take my barrel complete. We will put it back with the parts for this project, and coming very, very soon will be the reassembly of this. I think it's a 1953 Longines tank-shaped watch. This is the first rectangular watch that I have worked on. And then we have lots more mechanical watches coming to the channel. You've seen lots of previews. Well, now it's about time for me to put the pedal to the metal, or put my tweezers to the wheels, and get these watches back together and on my wrist and share them with you on the channel. Thanks so much for joining me. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up, leave your comments in the space below, and if you don't want to miss my next episode, please subscribe to the channel. I'm Mike, the channel is Watch with Mike. Be good, be well, and be safe, and I look forward to our next time together.